I'm not a doctor. Talk to your doctor before being active. Welcome to Women Empower Active, an initiative started by UR Sportswear to empower women to find their own active adventure. I'm your host, Jacqueline Gross. We don't have a guest today. Today, we're just going to talk about kind of a little bit of the learnings from last week, the interview with Mercedes Pallmeyer. And one of the things that she said to me that kind of blew my mind is that you could do strength and flexibility together. And so that idea kind of got me thinking. Also, if you haven't listened to that episode, go back and listen to it because there's really a lot more that's in there that's really, really good. So you should check it out. But she did say this novel idea to me, and I was just thinking, okay, well, if I could do that, incorporate strength and flexibility together. And again, the reason this is so novel to me is because I know that I'm going to lift, but I really struggle stretching. And the reason I do is a very long story, but kind of stems from being a collegiate athlete. I ran for Michigan State. I really only value things that are hard because if I'm really working, then I'm really doing something valuable. And that idea has stuck with me for a very long time. And it truly isn't that way. Stretching is just as valuable. But in my mind, I place higher value on strength. And so I was thinking to myself, okay, how else can I incorporate this? Because I know without flexibility, I will not be, doing what I love, being active outside for very long. Going back to that Helen Thayer episode, I mean, she's an amazing athletic woman. I believe she's in her 80s and still is lifting and exercising every day. And I look up to her. She's an icon. I would love to be like that. So in order to be that way, I'm going to have to do these things that I just do not place value on because of, my history and just my experience. And, even after college, I really was like, oh, I'm done running. I don't really need to value my body anymore, and just not being grateful for anything. So what I was thinking about is the fact that, okay, yes, I can do these strength and flexibility together. Okay, what else can I do? I can do, my abs with my hip mobility because I do abs every other day. I will do it. I know that I will do it. Don't want to do hip flexibility. Don't want to do hip mobility. I also have had these like weird feeling that my, because we're all sitting forward like this, like really opening my shoulders. So I'll do some of that type of work during my ab exercises. I know that I'll do abs, I'll put it in there. So I've been kind of like pairing these two ideas of something that I really value, core, with something that I don't place value on for no reason. Again, this is just my head, my value system, which is, mobility. And so I use that. I also have done, I've been doing this before I had talked to Mercedes, but I was doing and found a lot of success in doing every other week knee strengthening exercises instead of like lifting you're kind of lifting your lower body, but like counting my lower body lifting as knee strengthening. So some exercises that I found that were really helping my knee strengthening exercises, I would do those. And then the next week I would lift legs. So I knew that I would always do lower body for the second lift of my week. So I put it in there. So that's how I'm kind of incorporating that into my workouts. And then the final thing that I've been doing is really being mindful about where I feel weaknesses. So I always feel like my left leg is more fatigued than my right leg when I'm done doing a workout, like a running workout. So I started kind of really making sure, and I guess some of the reason I think this is because I'm really aware of it is that my glutes aren't activating as much on my left as they are on my right during normal exercises daily. So I really kind of on my leg days really focus on my left leg and make sure that my glutes are activating when I'm doing like a lunge. So I'm really focusing on that type of thing. So these little tiny changes I've been making to really focus on the things that I kind of tricking myself into thinking, you know, I um I am tricking myself into thinking that I'm just doing core, but instead I'm doing all the things that I really don't value. And so I think we can kind of incorporate those types of things into actual racing or our competitions as well. So I did a 5K recently, and my goal for that 5K was to really stay engaged and to stay competitive and, really just enjoy racing, get into that racing mindset. Those are like my goals for that race. And so I didn't really think about a place or a time. It just really allowed me to really compete instead of really worrying about anything else. It's also a 5K, so it wasn't like a super long race where you have all those other concerns. I had gotten lost the year prior, so that was another goal of mine, was to not get lost and just, race the course. And so that was part of it for myself. And so this upcoming half marathon that I'm gonna race, my goal for that is to actually attack hills and run those hard, and really kind of give myself the confidence that I can run hills hard. So when I go into, a 50K, my next 50K in the spring, that I feel more confident in that. So like taking these like little tiny goals and like figuring out how you can find ways to improve yourself, instead of thinking about things in terms of time and places, things that you don't necessarily have control over, especially on these longer races. For myself, speaking for myself, I can't control how fast I can run something because I don't know if it's going to snow. I don't know if it's going to be icy. Like, I would run that slower. Obviously, it's going to be a slower course, or it gets muddy, or there's a lightning storm, or whatever else. Like, that's not in necessarily my control. All I can do is, attack the hills, stay focused, be positive, if that's one of your goals, like stay positive throughout the whole race. So that's kind of the thing that, you really need to focus on, because if you just focus on times and places, you aren't going to enjoy the actual racing. And we love this. We love competing. It's fun. Like, I'm speaking about running because that's what I know the most about, but you can apply this anywhere in your life. You are doing it because you love it. So find ways to improve it and also really enjoy it. And that goes into the, kind of my words of empowerment, is just like, focus on the thing that you can control, and also something that's going to make you better, and really, break it down and look at your race critically, and, not necessarily belittle yourself, but find ways that you think you can improve that will ultimately get you where you want, your ultimate goal. So, yeah, I hope that you can take from it what you will. And the final point would be like, you know what? We always get this messaging of like, new year, new you. And honestly, you can start at any time. We're training right now for next year. It doesn't matter that it's January 1st, 2023. We're training now. You can make that change now. Do something different today, this very second. And you can always start over at any time. There's no new year needed. You can start and rebuild yourself, or get yourself stronger, or refocus at any point in time. So, do your best every day. Thank you so much for listening. Next month is going to be a clip show, so I hope you enjoy that, of words of empowerment. So thank you so much for listening. You can follow me personally at Jacqueline Gross, JACALYNGROSS. That's mainly pictures of running landscapes and my dog Monkey. You can follow UR Sportswear, that's the letter U, the letter R, Sportswear on all social platforms. And you can check out any of our products at ursportswear.com. Thank you so much for listening.